that iconic ending where Mike is, or is it Joshua, stood in the
Must be the season of the rain. Where'd I go?
Why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome back to Witch Week. I am Random Ross, and today I review The Blair Witch Project. So this is written and directed by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Starring Heather Donahue, Michael C. Williams, and Joshua Leonard. So this is a found footage supernatural horror where three student filmmakers called Heather, Mike, and Josh, the actors go by their given names, in 1994 they go out to make a documentary. They're student makers and they go out to make a documentary on the Blair Witch. And upon going in the woods to see if they can find evidence of this Blair Witch, they soon stumble in the woods and they cannot find their way out and they get lost. And they start to hear strange noises and happenings in the woods. And the deeper they go in, because they're unable to get out, the more sinister things unfold. So let's get on to my likes and dislikes. First of all, I like this film. This was not the first of its kind, but it was the found footage film that started the whole craze of found footage movies. See, people watched this film, and in 1999 they genuinely believed it was real. You know, people were sending like flowers and sympathy cards to the families of these three actors in the movie, even though they were well and alive, because the whole thing was staged. But the fact that this film was so convincing that it can be passed off as a real movie, that's just movie making well done right there. And I gotta be honest, when I first watched this film I thought it was boring, but the final act really picked up and it's really unsettling. And the way the movie just ends, of course we can't, that iconic ending where Mike is, or is it Joshua, stood in the corner, and then then Heather drops the camera, and then the film just abruptly ends there, leaving their fates unknown. That was quite scary, and yeah, the marketing for this film was good as well. I mean, like an online marketing thing, just when the internet was in its teething stages, and just the way this film was marketed and just made was just brilliant. I mean, we never see the Blair Witch in this film. They definitely go with the less is more trope, and I think it works. I mean, the director, or directors and writers, the two guys that made this movie, they were basically the Blair Witch. He said it in an interview that he was the Blair Witch. They were out making all them noises. They made those stick people in the woods, and it basically was just them pranking them. But the acting in this movie, in fact, from when they start to get scared, none of this is acting. And I think Michael, is it Joshua, who disappears? He just, he eventually gets in on the whole thing with the whole disappearing act, and but the other two are just genuinely scared, and they're not even acting when they're doing this. At this point, they stop acting, and their fear and everything that they're experiencing in these woods with the camera is genuine. Even the that iconic scene where she's talking to the camera, saying she's horrified, too scared to close her eyes, too scared to open them, and her nose starts running. All that is real. There's no acting there. It is real, and that's what makes the film sell even more. thinking it's realistic, and I think that's good filmmaking there. Sometimes to make a good scene, you've got to make the actors think they're in the real deal and that they can genuinely be scared, and that is just that's just well done acting. And I even liked it as well when they interviewed people in this small local town about the Blair Witch and all that. And a lot of this whole less is more thing leaves it to your imagination to find out what's going on. Even the abandoned house and everything that they go in, it's just all just good. It's just brilliant. I mean, yeah, the first act of the film is a bit like slow and a bit boring, but and at this point, these actors playing like a fictionalized version of themselves, is all right. But when the terror starts to go, when it starts pumping, it starts going. I mean, this movie is actually quite fast paced. It's about 81 minutes long, so about an hour and 20 minutes, and they do a lot in this film. Like they were out for days, maybe I think weeks filming this film with just a camcorder, and it was done on a very tight budget. I'm not sure what the budget were, but let's just say this movie made about 2048 $6.6 billion. Hang on, no, $248.6 billion, and for it and to be still discussing this movie today, for people to still be watching it, they've obviously done something right here. I mean, now the found footage subgenre has been milked to the ground. They're a common part of filmmaking now, but for the time this film came out, not many of these movies existed. I mean, there was like Cannibal Holocaust, and again, that was so convincing the director got arrested for thinking that he made a snuff film. But this movie, at the turn of the millennium, it was just, just brilliantly done. This premiered at the Sundance Festival on January 23rd, it says on the wiki page here, January 23rd, 1999, and was released in July 1999, July 14th. And this film, it got followed by sequels. They tried to franchise this, but they haven't tried. The sequels have not been successful, but I think this one is the best. And I do still enjoy it. I still find it eerie, even though I know it's all fake. But, and these guys that wrote and directed it, they were like one-hit wonders in filmmaking, because I don't know any other movie that these guys have made. But maybe they got so rich from this movie they never needed to work again or whatever. But still, the Blair Witch Project, it's great. It's a classic. Check it out, because I can't recommend this one enough. And yeah, what does the Blair Witch look like? We don't know, because the less is more thing. So my ratings, I'm going to give the Blair Witch Project, it's easy, it gets 5 broomsticks out of 5. There you go. So that's been Witch Week Day 2 on the Blair Witch Project. Have you seen this one? If you haven't, where the hell have you been living? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell. All my social media links are down below: Facebook group, Twitter, Instagram. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow with day 3 of Witch Week. So until next time, don't have nightmares.